Hey, what's good, everybody? I'd like to welcome you all to a brand new episode of the Boombox Guru. I'm your host, LB, and for today's episode, we're going to be recording from an undisclosed location. Nah, seriously, I'm in the closet right now. But anyway, yeah, today's episode, man, we're going to be doing an album review, and today I'm going to be reviewing the new album from Alien Weaponry called Tangaroa, released on September the 17th, 2020. This is the band's second album. You know, Alien Weaponry, they're a band that's been making a lot of waves from the past 3 years or so since they've debuted it, man. And so let's get into this album. Before we get into this album, just give you a little brief introduction on Alien Weaponry in case some of you guys may not be familiar with them. But they are a heavy metal band, musical trio from New Zealand, formed in Auckland back in 2010 by brothers Henry and Louis De Jong. The trio consists of drummer Henry De Jong, guitarist Louis De Jong, and since August 2020, bass player to Turanga Morgan Edmonds. All three members have Maori ancestry, and a number of their songs are written in the Maori language. And this album was released on Napalm Records. The singles were Ahi Ka, Blinded, Tangaroa, Buried Underground, and like I said, this is the first album with their new bassist. So, what's the verdict on this album for me? Let's go ahead and get into what I think about this album. So, right off the cuff, man, while I do enjoy this album, I gotta be honest with you, I was left a little disappointed that the band didn't expand upon their debut. For the most part, they stick with the same formula and structure of the previous album with only slight hints and variety in the songwriting. They do still maintain those crunchy guitar riffs, those groove laden rhythms, and the tribal influences. And for the most part, that's enough to keep me interested. But I just feel that there were a lot of undeveloped ideas on this record that could have took the album to new territories. Uh, for example, one of my favorite songs on here called Unforgiving, it starts off with a slow, melancholic intro, and then it transforms into what could have been potentially like this cool, like really prog rock type song, but it just seems that the band didn't really fully realize that, and they kind of just held back and played it safe. They didn't really take that song to new levels. And another thing I noticed about this album is that it has a lot of Gojira influences throughout most of the songs, especially on the more somber parts. For example, songs like Dad and Crooked Monsters finds the band touching on a little bit of hard rock and stoner rock styles in their sound, but also the more mellower moments on that album, especially on the first part of Crooked Monsters, it sounds a lot like Gojira in a lot of ways. I mean, a lot of the rhythms on there sound very similar to what early Gojira were doing on a lot of their records uh, in their career. One song called Hinga, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, one of the more heavier songs on the album. I kind of found the band kind of moving towards a little bit of a Meshuggah inspired groove and rhythm in their sound. But that's the thing about this record. I really do enjoy this album. I like it. I've actually listened to it quite a bit. I can't even count the times I've listened to this record. It's got to be at least 8 or 10 times that I've listened to it since I received it in the mail a couple of days ago. I pre-ordered it, and I've continuously gone back and listened to the record. I mean, I really enjoy uh, Alien Weaponry sound. I really enjoy it. I was just left wanting more. Every time I listen to the record, while I do like the songs, I feel that there was just so much ample opportunity for them to kind of push things a little bit more forward and take a risk, and they just kind of just held back. I don't know if that was the producer's idea or if maybe they were just apprehensive, but I just really feel that there was a lot of good potential for them to really kind of step outside their comfort zone and really show everybody what a great band they are, because I really think that these guys are really good. And this album, while I still think that it's good, it just didn't really live up to my expectations. So in conclusion, I think Tangaroa is an enjoyable listen, but the album is held back because it has too many unrealized ideas. Like like I said, I don't know if the band were apprehensive about taking risk or other factors beyond their control played in, but there are a lot of moments where they could have taken things to the next level, but ultimately they fell short. And I'm not gonna say that this album is garbage or a total dud. It's none of that. It's like I said, it's a great listen, but personally for me, it just leaves me wanting more out of the music. You know, to me, there was just a lot of underdeveloped ideas that really could have took the band to some really cool territories, and that could have been really groundbreaking and mind blowing in my opinion. And of course, I'm still a fan of Alien Weaponry. I'm still in their corner. I'm still cheering them on because I think these guys are really good. And I'm just hoping that when time comes for the next album, we'll see more growth in their songwriting because these guys are a really good band. And I really enjoyed the first album too. I thought that album was really good. Although, of course, that record had its criticism. People were calling them like a rip off of Roots era Sepultura and so forth. Rip offs of Gojira. I mean, I'm fans of both of those bands. I wasn't really. I didn't really look at it that way. I looked at it. I looked at this as a new, younger band who were heavily influenced by these bands, and they're taking that sound to a new generation. But as much as I enjoy too, in between all of this, it's been 2 years since that album came out. They've done tours and so forth. I was kind of hoping that there was going to be some musical growth. That by the time they come with this album, we was going to see some different elements. I mean, there are slight differences. I mean, this album is a bit more darker. There's a lot more melancholy moments on there, and there seems to be a bit more of a maturity in the lyric subject matter part. There's not so much of the like youthful type subject matter that was on two, because you gotta understand they were practically teenagers and fresh out of high school when two came out. But there is definitely more maturity in the songwriting, but it's just not really fully developed like it should have been, in my opinion. But again, I will reiterate, I don't hate this album. Out of most of the new rock and metal albums that I've bought for this year, this is honestly the one that I've gone back to and listened to the most. I really enjoy their sound. I really dig it. They're essentially a groove metal band, which most people that know me personally know that I'm a huge fan of groove metal. That's one of my favorite subgenres in metal. And I think that they've taken that Roots era Sepultura style and they've kind of brought it to a new generation, as well as taking those early elements of Gojira's early style and brought it to a new generation. But what I really want to see from this band, I want to see them to kind of bring their own niche in their style. I want to see them kind of formulate something of their own identity. And that's what I was kind of hoping for with this record, but I just don't think that's I just don't think that's fully realized yet. So I'm thinking hopefully maybe with the next album, that's when we'll really start to see Alien Weaponry. We'll really start to get more of their identity, because we do have their identity. I mean, they're bringing in their Marty culture into their sound, which I wasn't even familiar with that culture until I heard of Alien Weaponry. So I think that's definitely something that they've brought to the game that's of their own identity as well. But I just want to see more of that in their musical growth. But but again, I just want to say that this is just my opinion. So I'm not telling anybody not to listen to this album. Definitely go check out this album. If you're somebody that's a fan of Alien Weaponry and you enjoyed the previous album too, I definitely believe that you're gonna enjoy this record, Tangaroa, because I enjoy this record. But yeah, there are some things on here that where I can see more room for improvement, and that's what I'm hoping for the band. I'm in their corner, I'm cheering them on, and I'm hoping that hey, the next go round they will get it. So that's it for this album review. That's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you can all do me a favor, hit that thumbs up and like the video, because it helps expose my videos to more people out there to watch it. Share the video as well. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit that bell so you'll be notified every time I drop new content. I have links to my social media platforms. I'm most active on IG, so if you want to hit the link to my IG page and follow me there, yeah, you can DM me, engage me there. I definitely will get back with you because that's where I'm most active at right now. Uh, and I hope everyone has a blessed day, a blessed rest of the week. And as always, love, peace, and music. Peace out.